Hello guys, welcome to Data Speak. Listen to your data. So today, our topic today is on data cleaning with the help of Power Query in Excel. So I'll be explaining to you with the sample of data I have on how to do some data transformation in Power Query. So if today happens to be your first time in this channel, please, I would like you to like and subscribe to the channel. Now, one thing you need to know about data cleaning is that how good your data, how clean your data is equal to the outcome, the result you want to achieve with that data. Data is simple as if clean is simple as garbage in, garbage out. If your data is not properly clean, just know that the result you're going to get is going to be equal to what your data is. So that is why I brought this video to explain to you what data cleaning is all about and the various steps. And not one thing you need to know is that every data has its own method of cleaning it. There is no one standard method that, okay, I'm sure that this data, this is the same procedure I'm going to take. No. Every data has different way of cleaning it. So for today, I'm just going to show you on one aspect. And my next coming video, I'm going to explain more techniques on how to clean different data in different way. So without wasting much of your time, let's get into work. Okay, so here's the data set we're going to be working with. This is an order data for 3 years from 2017 to 18 to 19. They are all stored in the same folder. So these are data we're going to be working with. So without wasting much of time, let's review the data and know how the data structure look like. Okay, so here's a sample of the 2017 data. So just need to review what it looked like before we start importing in Power Query. So what I normally do before I go on, I just need to reduce the font size so that I can see the data all at the go. So just click over here, try to make the column visible. So I'll just go through, scroll up and scroll down, and I notice that we have 817 rows. So how many columns do we have? So simply just drag this way. We have 8 columns. So by just looking at it, you get to feel the data, know what the data is all about, and you get to know what you want to do with the data. Like for example, now I'm just looking at it under the order ID. I'm seeing XS, which shouldn't be here. It shouldn't be here, which means this is one of the things we need to clean. Then when I look at the customer ID, I notice that the customer number and the customer name are all together, which is one of the things we need to work. We need to separate them. We need to have customer name and customer ID. Then if you check on the cookie sheet, you notice that it has a $sign in front. Now this cookie sheet simply means the quantity of the cookies being shipped. So which means we need to change the data type to this from currency to a number. Revenue, we have the revenue column, we have the cost column. So looking at the revenue and the cost column, we can do some calculation here by calculating the profit, which simply means revenue minus the cost. Then we look at we have the order date and the ship date. Now, with the help of these two, order date and ship date, we can be able to, how many days does it take for an order to deliver to a customer? So we can do a calculation, which simply means the ship date minus the order date. It will give us how many days. Then we have the order status. So this is how our data look, and this is how the three files, that of 217, 218, 219, this is how the whole look. So we're just going to preview the 217. So let's move into Power Query and into Excel and launch our Power Query. Okay, so let's launch our Power Query and start with our data cleaning. So what you will notice that my own Power Query tab is at the top. It's at the top right hand side. So why I made that? Because what I'm using is Excel 2013 model. So which means it doesn't come with it. So you need to download it separately. So if you're using Excel 2013, I advise you to check the Microsoft documentation and download Power Query from there. So since our data are all in the same folder, we're going to be importing our data through the help of folder. So I'm just going to click on Power Query. Now the good thing about Power Query is that
it has almost 160 data connector. What do I mean? Which means you can connect your data from web. From files, we have like 4 categories under the file. Well, from Excel, the text, from Excel and folder, which the folder, that's what we're working with. Then we have, you can import your data into Power Query from the various database. You can import it from Azure, from online service, from other services also. And so what we're interested today is from the folder. So why? I'm going to click on the folder. I'm going to explain to you why we're using the folder. It happens that our data are all stored in the same folder, and they have the same. The reason why they're stored in the same folder, they have the same column header and the same column number, number and structure. So when I click on from the file section, I click on the folder, it will ask me which the folder part. So I just need to browse to the folder part where I save it. I save it on the data cleaning. I'll click OK, then I hit OK. So it just takes a few seconds to locate the folder. Now, here we have our 3 file, 217, 218, 219. So what I need to do just to check and everything is okay. Then at the below, you find out we have 4 checkbox here. What I say, yeah, we have the combine, we have the load, we have the edit, we have the cancel. So if I don't want to go ahead with this process, I can cancel it. Then if I think something is not right, I can click on edit and edit whatever I wanted to edit. Then load. Load simply, when you click on load here, we have 2 options. You can load to you can load it direct to a table, which means that you don't want to do any transformation. Under the combine, so the combine, what does it mean? That it's going to combine our data into one. Since you look at, we have 3 worksheets, so it's going to combine into one worksheet. And here we have combine edit. In other Excels, like from 214 upward, what you find here is combine transform, but under 213 you find combine edit. So that's what I'm going to click on it. So now it will take us now into our query editor where we can do our so I just need to highlight to check and know if my data is correct and everything. So I just click OK. So based on your laptop, it depends on the speed of your laptop. So my own is a bit slow, that's why. Okay, yeah, this here now we have our data inside Power Query. Now if you look, we have what we call the query sections. This query section also tells us what actually transpired with those 3 data. So what the Power Query did was that it matched 3 of them together. So that's why all these queries stand from the transformation being done in it. Then under that, on the right hand side, you see when I click on the data cleaning, you find on the query setting, which is what we call apply steps. This apply steps simply means that these are the various steps Power Query has taken in order to bring this data to this form. Which means you can call this apply step as something like macro if you are conversant with Excel macro, which means it record the step, every step you take, everything you do in this data now is recording. So as we go on, we just need to look at our data, then I will tell you more about this apply step. Now, what I first normally do, I normally go through the data, check the column. The first thing I do is that I check which column I do not need. Let me take it off. Then I leave the one I need. The essence of taking the columns that you don't need is that why it's going to make your work a bit faster. If, for example, you are creating a model in Power BI desktop, you see it's going to be a bit more faster than when you begin to have unnecessary columns that you don't need. So one of the way to optimize your report and optimize your model, the flow, is to remove the word unwanted columns. So here I don't need the source name, and because what does it contain? Simply just telling me the files, the 3 files we loaded. So I'm not interested about it. So what I'll do, just right click and I'll remove. Now if you check on our apply steps, you see it has added, it's a remove columns. Now when you go to the change type, you find that our columns was still there, the source.name, but when you check on the remove column, it's no longer there. So I can go ahead and rename this In order to make it look good and make it look organized, I can say remove source name, which was the column. So by so doing, even though I'm not there, when somebody happens to work on the same file, just going through the apply step, if the apply step is well renamed, well given a proper name, he will just follow everything according to how it's been done. So that is just all I have to say about the apply steps. It's just something that's similar to micro. So let's get into what we have today. So when you check on the order ID, we have the order ID number 6. That's the XXS. When you go through across the row, across the column, you find that it has to do with promo, which we don't need it in our analysis, in our yearly sets. We don't need it. We don't include the promo. So what we'll do, I'll go to the order ID, then I will scroll down, and I'll check out. I'll check it off. Now it's no longer there. So next thing I will do is that I normally consider the order ID as text. So I'll change the data type, click on text. So we're done with that. Now let's move to the second column, the customer ID. Now if you notice, the customer ID has two information. It has a customer name, it has a customer number. So what we're going to do, we're going to split it into two columns. Now the way we can do that, we can do that by what? Split column. Look on the tab here, you see split column. So you can split either by delimiter or by the numbers of character. So another way you can do is you can just right click, you go down, you see split column on delimiter. Now we're going to be splitting by delimiter. Why are we splitting by delimiter? So let me just go back. If you find that what separates the customer name and the customer number is a dash. It's a dash which has space in the front and the back. So that is one of the delimiters. It's going to be on that custom delimiter. So I'm just going to right click and I'll go to split column and I'll click delimiter. You see, Power Query help us to do what, to dictate the delimiter there, and it's forced under what, custom, because here we have other delimiters: column, comma, equal sign, semicolon, space, tab, which you can use. But this one, this is just dash. It falls under what, a custom. So what I will do is that in front of it, I'm going to give it a space, and behind it, I'm going to give it a space. So when I click OK, just look at. Now we have two separate columns. And if you check the name, you have customer ID 1 and customer ID 2. So what we need to do just to rename it. So what you do is that you double click on it and you highlight it and you change the name. I'll do the same thing here. So here will give us the customer name. Now the cookies, the data type is okay, is supposed to be a whole number. Now we have the revenue, we have the cost. So the revenue and cost should be currency. So what we'll do, I'm just going to change the data type currency. I'm going to change the cost also into currency. Now with the help of revenue and cost, we can calculate the profit. So what profit simply means revenue minus the cost. Revenue minus the cost. So how do we do that? So what you need is you hold Control key, highlight revenue, and highlight cost. Now, if you hear me what I said before, I said you first of all highlight revenue, then now you highlight cost. Because if you want to calculate profit, it's revenue minus cost to give you what, profit. Now, if you go in this order by first of all highlighting costs and revenue, you're going to have a wrong answer. What are you saying is that now you are subtracting revenue from costs. You are doing it vice versa. So you need to consider the first column you select before the order. Okay, so I'll first of all select revenue and I'll highlight cost as well. Then under the add column, I'm going to click add column because I want to add a new column. If you check under the standard, we have many calculations we can do. We can add, multiply, subtract, divide integer model. So what we want to do here, we're going to subtract, because we're going to subtract the cost from the revenue. When I click on it, you see we have a new column called subtraction. So what I do, I just double click on it and I'll give it the name profit. So what I'll do, I just drag it just to put it beside the order. So we have revenue, we have cost, we have profit. Now we have order date, we have ship date. From here we can know how many days does it take for an order to be delivered to the customer. Now, like I said, the ship date comes late. So which means in this situation, I need to first of all select the ship date first before the order date. Because if I select the order date before the ship date, I'm going to have a negative number. So let me just explain to you, show you. So let me highlight a column order date, and highlight this. Then under add column, I'll go to date. What you see here, you see subtract dates. When I click on it, I'll have a new column with subtract. You find that we have negative. So that is the essence. Before you do any calculation in terms between two columns, please be careful of which one you select first. So I'm going to take this off. So simply what I need to do is to take it off from the apply step. I don't need it. So what I will do is that I'll highlight the ship date first, then I highlight the order date, then I will do my subtraction. So we have it. I'll still do the same thing just to highlight it. Then I'll give it delivery shipping days. I'm just going to give it shipping days. Shipping days. So that's how it takes for us. How many days it takes for an order to be delivered when it's being ordered. So looking at what we've done so far, I think what we have intention in doing about this data, we've done it. We're able to do what, remove unnecessary column, which we did. The next thing was that we removed the rows which are not needed, and the customer ID before was joined together with the customer name, which we separated. So the cookies was in dollar sign, which it could be count, which is the data type to be what in the whole number. Then with the help of the revenue and the costs, we're able to get profit. Then with the help of the order date and ship date, we're able to know the number of the shipping days it takes for an order to deliver. So if you see all those things we did here, were what were recorded. So like insert date subtraction. Insert this subtraction, what does it mean? If someone looking at it might not understand what it means, but you can go on and say, okay, this actually was the shipping day. Shipping date column, or you see at shipping days. Okay, at shipping this column. On this one also, we might just rename it. Say we add what a profit word. Add profit column. So just looking at it, you just know with the apply step, it will tell you, okay, this is what was done, this was what done. So this is all we can do for this particular data, and I think we've done justice to it. So what the next thing we need to do is now for us to load our data into our table, Excel table. So I'll click on it. Now you see our data has now been loaded. We have our order ID, customer name, cookies, revenue, cost, profit, order date, and ship date. Then we have the shipping days. So if you check by the right hand side, our total data of those three files is 2,483 rows. 2,482 rows loaded. And if you highlight over it, you see the data cleaning. You see our data source where the data is, so we can, if we want to edit the source, we can go ahead and edit the source. Now that we have done with this, and our data was from 217, 218, 219. Now The question will be, what if in the case that in 2020, by 31st of 2020 of December, and the data for that year is being added in the folder? Are we still going to do all this calculation? Are we still going to do all this calculation? No, because that's the essence of Power Query, because every step we took was recorded. So when a new file is being added in the folder, it automatically do what? It automatically update. So let me just take a pause and add the 2020 order data and see if we can refresh it from here, and see if we can refresh our data from here. Okay, so welcome back. So I have added the 2020 data in the same folder. So what do we do next? Are we going to go back to repeat the same cleaning we did with the other data? No. So that's the essence of storing the data in the folder, and that's the power of Power Query. What it simply did is that all the steps we did with those 3 files, it will carry the same step in any new file being attached to that same folder. So what we simply do is that we'll now go to our data to see if we can refresh it. So I'll click on refresh all. No, before our data was just for 217, 218, 219. Let's see if we have our 220 data. I'll click on let me say the shipping, the order date. Let me click on it. Now, if we find that now we have our 2020 data, or about 2019, 2018, 2017. So that's the essence and the power of Power Query, of doing our data cleaning. So which means you're not going to be doing the same tasks often. So with the help of Power Query, it helps us to automate our data flow, our data cleaning. So if today happens to be your first time in this channel, please, I'd like you to like and subscribe to it. And in the next video, I'm still going to talk more on data cleaning, because every data has its method of cleaning it. Every data has a method of cleaning. So there are many things that we need to do in terms of data cleaning. So just have it in mind that every data has its own problem, has its own question to be solved. So today, this is what I have for you guys. Thank you very much, and thanks for your time. See you in the next video. Bye.